Sorry for so many questions regarding launches. Number one, is there a good day of the week to launch? Number two, are launching and cart closing done on the same day? Number three, how do you determine if you need a 3 or 5 day email sequence? And number four, should you build up the launch sequence by hinting about the launch in your normal weekly newsletters?
Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot. Okay, so let's unpack some of these things. First off, let's make launches easy, guys, okay? If you make a launch into a big, scary thing, no one's going to want to do them. So that's number one. Take all of the pressure and remove it from your shoulders, because launches don't need to be anything that you don't want them to be. I have heard forever that you need to have a webinar if you were going to launch one of your products. Can I tell you which one of us hates webinars? Which one of us has said, I am never going to do a webinar? Guess which one of us set up and ran a webinar in 7 days? But that's not because I enjoyed the webinar necessarily. We had to call it, and Tracy can tell you this, we had to take out anything, anywhere that said webinar and input the words free training, because my brain, limiting beliefs alert all over the place, says webinars are bad. Free training is good, webinars bad. And so that's one thing. So everyone's saying you have to do a webinar or your launch is going to be terrible. We've had huge launches before. We've had $7,000-$9,000 launches before without ever having to do a webinar. Every time I run a 3-day flash sale on my Tripwire product that's kind of like a re-offer to my list, then I know that it's literally like printing $1,500 because I know how it works. So it's the same 4 emails. Every single time I do that 3-day flash sale. I want to make sure that you guys understand before we get into actually answering these questions, there isn't a right or wrong way to do a launch. I never want you to feel like you have to do webinars, that you have to do an 8-week kind of getting your list ready process in order to have a profitable launch, or that you have to have a 14-day cart open sale where you have 72 emails that goes out. It's not like that with launching. Full stop. And this is again, coming back to the limiting belief things. If you don't want to do it, if I didn't want to do the webinar, it didn't matter how many times I heard from people, webinars are the best thing in the world. I didn't want to do it. And calling it a webinar in my head made me not want to do it. And so we had to change the wording. If that's what it takes for you, if you have to look at it as I'm dropping hints to my audience, I'm giving them a way to sign up for a wait list. If that makes you excited to see how many people are into your product, then do it. If that just sounds like one more thing that's going to stress you out, then don't do it.
Don't do it. So your rules, your terminology, your time stamp, your platform, it's all you guys. As far as the best day to sell, I honest to goodness do not believe there is one. I do not believe there is one. I'm launching my membership group this week on, get this timestamp, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's what fits my schedule this week. I have kids going home. I have airlines to get them to, and I just do not have time. And it was supposed to be Tuesday through Friday. And I'm like, you know what? I'm switching it to Thursday. If people want in my membership group, it does not matter when I launch it. And I did get a couple of emails yesterday. Is your membership group opening this week? I'm like, yep, just 4 days. Hang on, or 3 more days, whatever the math is. Just hang on, it's coming. So you have to remember, if your people want your stuff, if your people want your products, it doesn't matter when you launch. That's what I believe. And now Caroline may disagree with me, but that's fine. That's how I believe. And I may not get as many sales because I believe that way, but that's what allows me to do what I do without getting stressed out, nervous, or overwhelmed.
I bet you're going to have a fantastic freaking sale because it fits your schedule.
I am.
Because it fits your schedule, because you're like, this is what works for me. This is what I can get my excitement and like, yeah, this is going to be amazing. That kind of energy, whenever you can get behind those days, that's what I think is going to work. It's not a like magic formula. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that there are some people who say like a Monday through Friday launch works perfectly. I know that there are people who are like, but why wouldn't you close the cart on Saturday when everybody is on email? And then there's other people who are like, but nobody opens my emails on weekends. It all depends on your niche. I know that there are people who are like, my people don't open their email during the week because they're busy. But on Saturday morning, if I send out my email at 9 a.m., I get a 50% open rate. I wouldn't do that. But that's just because of me. If somebody told me that I had to do a cart open and cart close on Saturday and Sunday, I would yell at them. It all depends on you. It depends on your niche. I will say this though, from what I have seen, a 5-day launch from cart open to cart close, if you're doing a big launch, that's a big launch, guys, is a 5-day open cart. There's a lot that comes along with that beforehand. So be prepared for that. That's one thing. But I think that it's really important to understand, like, there isn't a right or wrong. I know my coach just launched one of her products. It's either $888 or $999. I can't remember. She likes the 3 numbers. I'm like, okay, that's cute, whatever. But she just did her launch. She just closed her doors on Friday, I think, or Saturday. I can't remember. But her cart open period is 2 weeks long. But she doesn't send out an email every single day. She mentions it in her Instagram stories. And she doesn't have a huge Instagram following. She has like a little bit over 10,000 followers. But she mentions it in her Instagram stories. She might send out an email, but that's kind of it. And so there isn't like, and it was a huge sale for her. It was a huge, huge launch for her. But it's not about like some right or wrong answer. It's just kind of,
no, there isn't.
What are you willing to do?
One thing that you guys need to know. If you are doing a launch, do not skip the 6 p.m. email. Do not.
Oh, yeah.
Do not.
No. Let's call it Friday. Let's say that your doors are closing. They cannot buy it at 12:01 on Saturday morning. Cart closes at 11:59 minutes and 59 seconds on Friday night. Okay. You need to send out an email on Friday morning, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 7 a.m., it doesn't matter. Friday morning, and then one at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. on Friday, or cart close day, whenever. That's the last one that you will be sending. It is one that has a countdown timer in it so that they can see it's a small email. We're not talking about writing a novel here. It's a last chance, guys. Here's the bullet points of what you're going to get. Timer, cart, doors close, and they won't be open for a while, or you won't see this price again, or the sale ends, or whatever it is. Make a call to action, give them a countdown timer so that they see it. And that's it. Do not skip that guy.
So I don't even know what this was for. One of my products, I totally forgot to do the PM email, and I go to bed stupid early. So I was in bed, it was like 8 o'clock at night, and I was just getting ready to doze off. And I'm like, I never sent my PM email. Should I get up? Should I go to bed? How many people am I really going to get with that email? And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to send it. So I went into the office, did not have it written up. I forgot all about it. So I wrote it up. It had like 10 sentences in it. I'm like, all right, guys, I was in bed. I got out because I wanted to remind you that cart's closing on this product. You're not going to be able to get it. And I sent it out. And the next morning, I probably had a dozen sales because I got out of bed. Yeah, because of that last minute email. Do not skip that email. That was the biggest lesson I ever learned in selling. Do not skip that email. It's so simple to do. It's so easy. And who cares if you get unsubscribes? I got a ton of unsubscribes, but I made a dozen sales. Your people that are staying deserve that time and energy. So don't give it to the people that are leaving. Give it to the people that deserve it and the people that are staying. Yes. So when you unsubscribe, just let it go. Just let it go. You don't have time to deal with that. You don't have time to bother with it. And I know it's hard in the beginning. And it was hard when people told me that in the beginning. But I've been at the beginning and I've been at this part of it. Let it go. Let it go. Nothing come back. So don't give them any of your time. Let them go.
No.
What?